All rise for pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll. Judge, how are you?
Councilman Alvarez.
Present.
Councilman Larka.
Here.
Councilman Lord.
Here.
Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Supervisor Head.
Here. I make a motion to come out of the executive session. No action was taken.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It was in
Oh,
your
where'd you
box.
do the
It's in the
agenda?
box.
Oh, in the
Did
box?
you go to your
Oh,
box?
okay.
I did, but it wasn't there.
Here, John, you can use mine.
No, no, this is,
Oh, wait, this says town clerk. This was
Oh, that's for something else.
the,
Yeah,
do you mind?
Yeah, not at all. No need to see that.
I didn't see it.
That's weird.
Take care. That's the
We'll
ball.
get after the fact.
Good night.
Okay. There's nothing on the work session this evening, so we're going to go into the regular portion of the meeting. So moved to go into the regular portion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And again, since we're back now, notation of the X in the front and the rear, and if an electronic device, please put it on vibrate. Okay, item number 1, it's a drainage easement, extinguish an existing easement. This is in Brewster Heights. Almost every lot in Brewster Heights, there's over 255 lots, and they all have a drainage easement. And they're basically, at this point in time, non-existent, and we're gonna extinguish this so a person can put in a fence around their home, I guess. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby authorizes the release, abandonment, and extinguishment of such of a certain drainage easement consisting of an approximately 5-foot strip of land located along the dividing line between lots 186 and 185, which was reserved to the town as shown on filed map number 759B, recorded in the office of the Putnam County Clerk on July 26, 1957, the easement area, and be further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby is authorized to execute and deliver a document in recordable form in the form and substance approved by the town attorney to abandon, extinguish, and release easement area as heretofore described. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion.
Do you know which road this is off of, or where this easement is?
No, I do not. I don't know the backup, that part of the backup. No, it's toward it's going more toward North Road. I think it's around Carolyn Road. It's back further. It's within the last 3 roads.
And is it going off the hill, or is it go between?
I think it's going down the hill there. I'll forward it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
But every lot in Brewster Heights has an easement.
Okay,
This is just, like I said, between 185 and 186.
thank you.
Okay, I'll forward it to you tomorrow. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now, you notice we numbered them tonight because some of the backup is pretty thick, so we try to make it easier, because I did it more for me, because I get lost with it sometimes. Okay, resolution, award a contract operation and maintenance of Peach Lake wastewater treatment plant. Now therefore be resolved that if North Salem shall agree, the town board of the town of Southeast accepts the proposal of VRI Environmental Services dated June 14, 2021, to provide operation and maintenance services for Peach Lake Sewer Water Treatment Plant, and authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract jointly with the town of North Salem with VRI for such O&M, which is operation and maintenance services, commencing August 1, 2021, and ending July 31st, 2024. And be further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, resolution to approve Putnam County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby adopts the Putnam County Hazard Mitigation Plan, annexed hereto and made part hereof, and as and for this jurisdiction's natural hazard mitigation plan, and be further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to take any and all the actions necessary to execute the directives and recommendations contained in the plan. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. I want to thank Lori Bell. She did an excellent job with helping put this together. John, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We've done this a while back, but we never formally accepted it as a town board. and that's what we're doing this evening.
Do we have to have a public hearing? Does this have to be presented to the public?
I don't believe it does it, John?
No,
No.
no, it's basically, this is where potential funding comes from. It also, it takes a look at the town as a whole from like what its threats are, its risks, and it's also its capabilities in recovery and response. So,
It's really an internal document.
For the county? I went through it today. That's why I asked, because I thought the town might want to look at it. On page 17, it was something about block grants, and it said that we're not eligible, or it's not accessible to us.
it might not be at the lowest municipal level,
Okay.
But
but
the county-
the county and the state, would it be able to get that funding?
So,
Yes, our plan is gonna be putting with all the others from the county. The county could make the application for grants and share it accordingly.
are we eligible for block grants?
We can apply for any kind of grant we want, whether it's a block grant or not. There's criteria each time, so I can't say offhand yes or no. It depends on what the grant is.
Okay. On page 22, it's permanent housing. It said something about Putnam Seabury on Zimmer Road. I didn't know that Putnam Seabury.
That was the former name of the one that was approved. It was Putnam Seabury way back when. So that name may have to be changed.
Yes, I noticed that one or two of the items, like, by the time the final draft came,
Right.
like, for instance, the distribution center thing had been resolved,
Okay.
so there's a couple of very minor anomalies in
Okay.
that way, but, for the most part, it's very minutia.
Okay.
So John, if you
No,
call
I just
me-
wondering where that was.
Okay, if you find another one like that, just
Yeah.
tell us, and before we actually will formally just change it.
And then toward the end, there were repairs for different things, like stormwater, and the repairs were funding from the town budget. And I thought that a lot of those things should have been highway budget, but is town
Well, the
budget?
town, the highway, every department in town is a town budget.
Okay,
So they just don't, it's accounting department, highway department.
cool,
So
okay.
That's just.
That's just town budget.
The town budget's town budget. Some people get confused by that, but we're one town and all the departments are within that town.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had. Thank
Any
you.
other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is a resolution fire and safety plan. Again, this was done by Lori Bell and Jerry Shremick. We appreciate the efforts put forward. So we'll be doing some fire alarm drills and cutting some bushes in the front, putting in some new fire lanes. We checked out all the fire extinguishers. So now therefore it be resolved that the Town of Southeast Town Board hereby adopts the Town of Southeast Fire and Safety Plan annexed hereto and made part hereof, and be further resolved that the supervisor, building inspector, fire inspector, and code enforcement personnel be and hereby are authorized and directed to take all actions necessary to execute their directives and recommendations contained in the plan. So move for discussion.
Second.
And like I just briefly stated, I have the list in my office, and we're gonna go through each one of them. There's only like one or two things that I'm gonna say are difficult, but I don't quite agree with the recommendations, but we'll discuss with them the things that we have to do, and we'll get those all done.
Was there a recommendation to show emergency access for handicapped vehicles? I'm just
When you say
thinking,
what do you mean by that?
well.
Vehicles
which-
are outside.
Yeah, well, pardon?
I thought you said vehicles.
Well, emergency access for, like handicapped, for wheelchairs, things like that.
ADA accessible?
Yeah.
Well, the whole building, our whole building is basically ADA accessible.
I know, but in the event of a fire or something like that,
Well,
where should they go out?
Like any door
and-
we do.
Yeah, it's like, as long as the aisles have a minimum width of clear space.
And the place that they would go to has to.
An assembly
be-
area for
Assembly area has to be a
evacuation.
certain
Yes, we-
distance away.
That's part, the assembly area is to be designated, and we have the practice of the fire drills.
Okay,
It'll be designated, and it's gonna be on that side of the parking lot.
okay, I saw, well, I only saw 3 buildings here. I didn't see Lakeview Manor. That should also be there should also be information on Lakeview Mountain.
I'm quite sure there is, but I'll ask. Lakeview?
Yeah, Lakeview, I didn't see.
And
it,
in
but-
Lakeview in particular, we did make a special, outside the back door, there's a double door for the handicap, and there's a special ramp built, and there's a special concrete slab that's put for them.
Is that far enough away from the building?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Good?
That's good. That's my discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, resolution extension of personnel professional services agreement. Now therefore be resolved that the town board extend the professional service agreement with Euro Video Productions LLC for a period commencing January 1, 2021, to and including December 31, 2022, and hereby authorize a 15% increase in the charges for services rendered, and be resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So move for discussion.
Second.
Paul, you're out there hiding there behind the camera. Welcome back. Sorry it took so long, and I know I apologize, I think we all do, about what you went through. I mean, you have the type of business that you didn't do much of anything, which is very unfortunate, and we're glad to see you back.
Thank you guys very much.
Here, here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And number 6. The judge was just here. Is he still here?
I think so.
Okay. It's a resolution, Justice Court Assistance Program, JCAP grant, authorizing resolution. Now therefore be resolved that the Town of Southeast Town Court is hereby authorized to make and file any and all applications in the New York State Office of Court Administration for the purpose of accessing grant funds under JCAP during the 2021-2022 grant cycle in the maximum amount available, $30,000, to be used in connection with obtaining equipment to improve efficiency, safety, and security, and to modernize administration and record keeping in the Town Southeast Justice Court facility located at 1360 Route 22, and be further resolved that any and all actions hereto in this regard by Justice Court personnel of town officials in this regard in order to meet the filing deadlines are hereby ratified and confirmed non pro tem. So move for discussion.
Second.
Okay, for discussion, we applied for this grant. We've done pretty well in obtaining things. They don't seem to have a great need for a lot of items, but every year they seem to be able to get a little something, and it all helps out with the budget.
Is there any idea what they're proposing to get this time around?
No, they never tell us. They have a wish list up to $30,000, but they don't usually tell us what they're applying for.
Do we see it later after they bought it?
Yeah, if we trip over it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognition to public. Recognition to town board.
Yeah, I wanted, I think we just completed that Route 22 update. Could we take a look, or ask the planning board and the town planner to take a look at updating the Route 312 corridor?
That's next on the list.
Okay, and when might that happen?
I guess once, I don't know if Route 20 is 100%, I mean, still looking at things, but Route 312 they're requesting the funding, and we will be approving that funding.
Okay, so we're waiting for AKRF to come back with what it's gonna, the budget?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And anything new on the solar landfill?
We're waiting
So-
on the town attorney to work out the finite details with the solar company to move it forward.
Okay. I probably won't be at the next meeting, so just,
What are you doing?
gonna have surgery.
Oh,
so.
okay. We're just being nosy.
Cool.
Any other town board member?
Yeah, I had a few quick things. I was at the planning board meeting on Monday, and the planning board has become accustomed to the Zoom meetings and the functionality of being able to share and interact, maps and plans and such. And at the last meeting, they have the board that they put up there, and it's impossible to see from over here. And they talked about setting up the projector for their meetings, but they also requested if they could have like 3 or 4 monitors installed here so that Ashley can pull up maps and things like that so that they can see them. So I would bring that I told them I'd bring that to you guys. I think the cost would be minimal, but I'll look into it and I'll come back with a cost. if
But
that-
why wouldn't they have their own computer? Don't they all have their own computers they could do?
They don't all have their own computer, laptop that they can bring, and sometimes Ashley pulls up stuff on the fly, on the maps that may have been submitted late.
Well, why would they need 3 individual computers if they could use one screen for everybody?
No, so it wouldn't be any computers, it
Well,
would be
you're-
3 monitors that we could hook up to Ashley's computer, so they would mirror whatever Ashley is showing, including the projector.
But the projector could put it on the screen for everybody to see, including the audience.
Well, they want to do that, but the board requested that, like, people down there may not be able to see what's up there. So it would be the purchase of 3 monitors and like a video hub, which I think would be relatively inexpensive.
And who's gonna set this up every meeting?
I think we could just set it up and leave it, but I'll look into it and I'll come back to the board and let you guys know.
Will we be able to use it on those nights that we are here?
I would assume so, but we're not getting one for each person, so
Okay.
you'd have to share with your neighbor.
I'm not sure. You go that way.
But I think we all have our own computers, but I thought it was a reasonable request, so I'll look into the feasibility and the cost and I'll come back to you guys.
We're gonna have to get stuff together.
What else?
The Cultural Arts Coalition asked that I share that they have some concerts coming up at the gazebo. There's one every Saturday in July, and the Putnam Chronicle is doing one July 24th at 3 p.m. The other concerts start at 6:30, and then on Cobb Road. So we've received a bunch of complaints about Cobb Road. John, I know you reached out on that. We had designated Cobb Road as a local traffic only road, and I did some research to see if you can get roads deleted from Google Maps.
We're working on it as you speak.
So I put in a request.
You?
Yes, yeah, so Google Maps feeds Google and Waze. So I put in a request and I put some backup in my request saying that it was designated local traffic only. And then they're reviewing it to edit it to see if it could be removed from, when people want to reroute themselves because of traffic.
Okay, the only thing I can ask is if anyone does this in the future, just make my office aware, because John did make a request, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a gentleman, and we've already started something on our end, so we're now duplicating the service.
Okay,
So I'll see what you've done so far. We've got a response from Waze. I intend to put it on. I don't believe it's gonna be successful, only because the number of people that are using that road already know about it, and we don't have a police force at the end of the road. But a gentleman that lives on Cobb Road forwarded us a bunch of information. I don't know if that's a basis of how you're, looking at the stuff, but we are. And I intend to respond back to him as a town. And there's another idea coming forward too, which we'll share, but not at this point in time. There's
Okay.
more research that I'm doing on our end, so just let me know in the future. And, you can do it, but
I reached out to the sheriff, and I think
Yeah.
you all know that, and the sheriff, said that he would do what he could. He's got 1.5 cars dedicated to Southeast, but he suggested that when these things happen, that residents contact the sheriff's office right at that moment so that he can send out a patrol and hopefully catch a whole bunch of people that should not be on that road.
yeah, and just I have a bunch of family that lives on that road, and they called 4 times, and each time they were basically told, sorry, we won't be able to get anybody out there. But
When was that?
it was all last week, every night.
Thanks. Yeah, just send me an email. And
Yeah,
I'll
will.
go back with that.
okay. We'll try to better coordinate that particular effort. It is a big problem. I couldn't believe that tractor trailer was on there. But that's not the only road in town.
And I'm gonna get to that with Welfare Road. So the good news is I recently spoke with someone in the County Highway Department regarding the Fairfield Drive road closure that's causing the detour to go through both the Milltown Road area for trucks and Welfare Road for passenger cars. In fact, today, I actually stopped a truck on Gage going on to Sherwood Hill, and I pointed out to him the fact that it says, no trucks. And I told him, you gotta go back out to Donsburg, you have to go down 22, and then you have to come back Milltown to actually follow the truck route. So it is a problem, but it's an enforcement issue. So again, you can post all the signs in the world, okay, and still, if someone who, it's clearly says no trucks, decides to take a truck down that road, now they're in violation. They can get a summons, okay, if there's an enforcer there. So, so anyway, the light is at the end of the tunnel because the project looks like it's going to be finished very shortly. So I did want to share that if any residents of both Patterson and the Green Chimneys and I think it's the Forest Corners area of Southeast that's being affected by these detours, Legislator Nasarino and representatives from the Putnam County Highway and Facilities Department are holding a meeting at 6 p.m. at the VFW post in Putnam Lake, which is right on Fairfield Drive at the end of Donsburg Road. So they'll be answering questions for people about the soon-to-be open roads for that.
When will
Now,
that be?
that's going to be Monday, July 26th, 6 p.m. at the VFW post. Now, moving on to actual Southeast Road closure, we have Sodom Road Bridge is being closed on schedule for August 2nd. Right now, there's variable message boards.
Sodom Road,
Yeah, Sodom Road Bridge.
it's already closed.
Okay, so, yeah, but they posted signs, but the actual beginning of demolition where you couldn't cross it even if you wanted to,
Oh.
happens August 2nd.
Because that bridge is gone already.
Oh, well, then they're.
I go by it
on
every day.
Yeah, it's gone.
I mean, I
You
go
don't go
home.
over it, though,
I go,
right?
no, I go home, but I can't come in.
Need a
It's
bit of
already
head
gone.
start. So, okay, well, that's good. It's already gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are ahead of schedule. And that's good because the problem is that project is due to be finished on November 8th. And if you do the, extrapolation there, it's kind of hard to pave asphalt if the asphalt plants are closed. So they're trying to go as fast as they can. So, just hopefully they'll have it open maybe in September, October, but we're crossing our fingers.
Yeah, it could be a stretch, but they're doing a good job thus far. It's already gone.
Okay, good. So,
Okay.
Did you want to say anything? Did you have any public comment? No, okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close tonight's meeting.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.